Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome to or back to Making Mistakes with Mary with your 17-year-old podcast host, Marycantalejo. So I kind of wanted to do the 15-minute podcast thing, but I don't know if it will last or it will be as short as 15 minutes long, just because today's segment is kind of one of my favorite things ever, and I don't know if I'm going to do this quite often, but I don't know. We'll see. So in today's podcast episode, I am basically showing you guys, or telling you guys, I'm not showing you guys, this isn't YouTube, self-promo, I have a YouTube channel, but I am going to be telling you guys the 10 ways I show up for myself. I got this inspiration actually from Pinterest, and one of them was the 10 ways to show up for yourself, and they kind of give not instructions, tips and tricks and habits that maybe you should attain to show yourself up. And I'm not going to take any credit for this. I saw it on Pinterest. It was really aesthetic. It was pink. I'll link it in the description below. But I believe it's from averstu.com, and it's one of the quotes from their website, but I couldn't specify. I couldn't find the direct author for this list, not author, but writer, I guess, for this list. But if you guys know by any chance, please DM me on Instagram, comment one of my videos when this does go out, hopefully on YouTube, or, when it does go out on YouTube, or, DM me, let me know who it is, because I tried searching it up, actually 15 minutes before this podcast, and I tried to look it up, and I couldn't find a specific author. They kept leading me to the same website, so, whoever it is, I would love to know, because I feel like they would have, better tips, and maybe I can even have them on the podcast. Their tips were amazing, and what I'm kind of going to do is go down the list and tell you guys what I'm kind of doing along with, their tips and habits. Trust me, when I get into it, it'll make perfect sense. I'm just really bad at explaining, which is a bad thing because I'm a podcaster and I should probably be good at explaining through a microphone or through, talking wise, but we'll figure it out. We'll get there. It's Making Mistakes with Mary. So, as I was saying before, I was looking through Pinterest yesterday. I don't know what was going on. Whenever I'm on Pinterest, I'm normally in that stage where I just feel like I have no sense of motivation. I have nothing to do. Well, not that I have nothing to do, but I feel like I'm not doing anything with my life. I'm going downhill from where I am. I'm not being to my standards, or I'm either being really stressed out, or there's thoughts in my head where why am I still continuing this? Why am I still continuing to study? Why am I still pushing myself? A grade doesn't determine who you are. So why am I pushing myself? I'm really freaking confused why I'm still doing this. And then, I'm I'm going to go and take a 5-minute break. I put a timer on my phone and I go on Pinterest. That 5-minute break turns into probably 30 minutes. But I go on Pinterest anyways, and I am searching up at the top bar, successful woman, boss, baby, whatever, babe, whatever it is. And I come across 10 ways to show up oh my god, 10 ways to show up for yourself. And I was I feel like this would be such an amazing podcast episode to share with other people. I feel like if I were listening to a podcast, I would listen to one of these type of things. If you guys, whoa, what is going on with me? If you guys know anyone who kind of shares these type of things on their podcast, or they do it occasionally or everyday thing, or weekly, whatever, I would love to listen to those type of podcasts, so please DM me, link it down below, comment, whatever. I just really want to know, because I am just so into these type of podcasts, but if I'm the first one, then that's pretty cool, but I really doubt it, because I don't listen to that many, but, I try to get into as many podcasts as I can. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So you know what? We're just going to jump right into it. I have a 4-minute, introduction. You guys are probably getting bored and probably, did the 10 thingy, the 15-minute, skip, whatever. 15-second skip. There you go. Okay, so number 1 is commit to habits, practice, routines, and rituals that are good for your well-being, even when you don't want to. And I was as soon as I read the first one, I was like, I have to share this with my podcasters. And I don't know if anyone is, willing to try it with me. I think that would be pretty cool. But I'm just trying to wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning from a Monday to Sunday, every single day, every single morning. I'm trying to wake up at 5 a.m. But I kid you not, it is impossible to wake up that early for me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I put like 12. But I am trying so hard to go and wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. and try to do everything I want to do. Instead, I alarm at 5 a.m. and then I wake up 10 minutes before class is supposed to start, and that shows how my day is literally going to go. I'm going to be the laziest person like possible. And don't get me wrong, there are some days where I'm like, oh, I'm on top of the world, 3 days going strong, 5 a.m., maybe 4:30 a.m., I can feel it, take it up a notch, I am just doing so well. I'm working out in the morning. I made breakfast for my family. I even, washed the dishes in the morning. I cleaned the countertop. I cleaned my room. I did everything. As soon as that fourth day hits, your girl is going to sleep for however long as she can. She's trying to hold up that minute before school starts. Maybe she doesn't even go to her first class. We don't even know. Like, there's just thoughts in my head where I'm like, should I really go to my first class? But like, obviously I have to go to my first class. But like, I am finding any excuse out there to make sure that I am just not succeeding within my habit or like my goal, And so I've been trying to keep myself accountable. So I have a habit tracker, and I track like how often I try to wake up at 5 a.m. I also try to keep myself accountable by, of course, trying to vlog it. But sometimes I just don't feel like vlogging in the morning because I'm super groggy, and that's not how I want to come across to other people. But if that's how I come across as, I'm sorry, I'm just not a morning person. But I think I really do have to do that. I think what I'm going to do is start a series on my podcast. I could, but start a series on my YouTube channel, and I am going to share you guys my journey show you guys my journey of me waking up or trying to wake up for 5 a.m. for probably 60 days. And I just want to start a routine. According to, I forgot what website that was, but it was from a YouTube video as well. But if you take yourself accountable for 60 days and you keep the habit for 60 days, you are more likely to keep the habit for a really long time until you feel like you can't complete the habit anymore. But it's more realistic that you will be able to have that habit for probably a while. They said like approximately 5 years if you can keep it for 60 days only. I can barely keep 3 days, let alone 60 days. So what do? I basically make myself a habit journal and I color in every single day. Like I'll make a November habit tracker, and then I'll do the days of the week, and then I'll just color in the days where I do wake up at 5 a.m. And then I can see towards the end of the month, like where were the days that I just didn't feel like getting up? Was it Mondays? I couldn't get up on Monday mornings. Was it Wednesday mornings because it's in the middle of the week? So I kept myself accountable by having a habit tracker. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. Number one for me, how I try to commit to my habits and my goals is having a habit tracker and seeing your progression. I learned this in psychology. So, I'm not a psychology major, but I learned it in psychology in one of the papers that progression is key. If you don't see progression or you don't see anything happening with your goal, you're more likely not be able. Okay, there you go. That was the word. Not be able to achieve that goal because you don't see a progression. Honestly, at the beginning of my podcast, I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't see any progression. I saw 3 people view my podcast and I was like, is anyone else gonna listen? In about 4 months or so, I hit over, I think, 400 listeners. And I don't know, that was just mind-boggling to me that like people, like 400 people or 400 like people, like 400 times people have listened, or 300 times people have listened to my podcast and have to hear what I have to say. At the time I was 16 when I first started. That was only like a couple months ago, but now I'm 17. So what 17-year-old or what adult would want to listen to a 17-year-old rant about the mistakes that they're doing or the progression that they're doing with their life? But apparently there are people. So thank you, because I really do appreciate that. I really do. It sounds super fake and super superficial, but I mean, I really do appreciate all that support, especially for my family and friends who really try to listen, and anyone out there who was listening. I'm super appreciative and very grateful. I swear. I just live by it. But anyways, I saw the progression. I saw the numbers click and start to rise, and I just felt so happy about that. And also, I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of lose hope for my YouTube channel just because I'm at 48 subscribers. I am nowhere near Emma Chamberlain, and I know I shouldn't be comparing myself to Emma Chamberlain, but I'm literally at 48 subscribers, no possible viewings right now, and I'm trying my best. I really am trying, but there's people that are just not a fan of my content, but it's okay because I'll grow, and I know I'll grow. And if I see the progression happening and I see the videos I'm posting, the quality of my videos posting, the people that are commenting and liking, and they really do like it, I mean, that's how I'm going to show myself up. That's how I'm going to show up for myself. Trust me, seeing progression is necessary for number 1. Number 2 is to allow yourself to feel a multitude of feelings without labeling it as wrong, bad, or negative. I like to think of this number 2 as let it be. I am one to be negative all the time. As soon as the teacher says there's a test on Monday, I'm like, oh, I'm going to fail it. That was the first thing that came up to my head, and the way I'm feeling. When I'm dealing with my anxiety or my stress, I literally say I'm going to fail. I think of the negative aspects. I don't even try to create a plan for myself, which I think for number 2 is creating a plan for your feelings. And it doesn't make sense at the moment, but let me explain. So I had an anatomy test, I think it was Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? No, was it? I think it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. And I had an anatomy test. I literally felt like I was going to fail that exam. The results hasn't come out yet, but I feel like I failed the exam, or even before I took the exam, I was literally saying to myself, I'm going to fail this exam. I'm going to fail this exam. I'm going to fail this exam. I don't know. I don't think I really did. And it wasn't bad at the moment. I knew my material. I knew it well. And what I'm trying to say here is that I had a set plan. And that's why I didn't feel as anxious as I did during the exam if I were not to be able to create a plan for my feelings. So this is what I like to do when when I see myself being really negative about my feelings, is if I say that I'm stressed and I'm feeling stress and I have no idea where the stress is coming from, where am I stressed? Why am I having this anxiety? Why am I having this stress? I take out a piece of paper. It's literally, I have a notepad and I just write random stuff on it. So I write anatomy test at the top. And I wrote, I am stressed because I feel like I don't know the material. And then I write down all the things I need to know during the exam. I look at the study guide and I look at the main materials I really need to focus on in the textbook. And then I kind of just look over it. And then I'm like, you know what? I'll separate this between my hours. So I looked up on my Google Calendar and I tried to figure out the best times I can study for this exam. And the more I studied and the more I prepared little by little for it, I didn't feel that stress or overwhelmed. I did feel a little stressed still at times, but I wasn't thinking negatively anymore. In my head, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm studying. I mean, if I do bad, I might do bad, but I know the material well. So why would I do that bad? You know what I mean? It's the mind is changing. In the beginning, as you guys heard, I'm going to fail this exam. And now that I've had somewhat of a system, a plan, I'm like, you know what? I might somewhat fail the exam, which is, an improvement. And you're not but you're not too, blah, oh my God, I have a test, oh my God, please someone help me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fail this exam. Definitely creating a system or a plan for how you're going to investigate your feelings is something I really like personally, just because I really suck at looking at my feelings and not trying to go in the negative route, because I am definitely a negative Nancy. I look on the negative side of things, but I really should stop. I really should. But it's just a habit that I've kept up for many years. And hopefully, by creating a plan, I can show up myself. And hopefully, when you create a plan, you can show up yourself. Number 3 is practice listening to your needs and discovering different ways of meeting those needs. So I don't know if number 3 counts as goal needs or like self-care needs. Maybe it's in between. I'll do both. So for self-care needs, if I really need a break or I really just need to sleep and not study anymore for this exam, I need to do it. I need to listen to myself that, hey, Mary, you're literally getting tired. The more you study, you're definitely not going to be able to retain the information the next day or the day after, because you're just so tired that you're not going to be able to retain it. And same thing with overworking myself. Like literally last week, I had a test. I had so many things. I just didn't have time to edit my video. And that video didn't show up on Friday's upload. I normally upload on Fridays at 2 p.m. I didn't comply by that. I had so many things that week, and I told myself, I felt super guilty, and I was trying to edit the video the night before the day that it was going to come out, but I'm like, what is the point? It's not going to be a quality video. People aren't going to enjoy it. People aren't going to click on it if it's not a good quality video, or like people will exit out of the video because it's just not good quality content as people normally have seen on my channel, which I try. Hopefully it's good content, but I try to post good quality content onto my YouTube channel because, like that. Why wouldn't you put the best quality content out for people who want to watch your videos? I feel like it's ridiculous. But I worked really, really hard on filming the video, but for me to let it all go down the drain by ruining it with my editing, I feel like it's ridiculous. And I knew for that week I was not going to post. I was like, Mary, you are not going to post. You are going to let yourself be. And also, I had family come over to my house. And I know there's a pandemic. They self-quarantine for a while before coming to my house. There were only 2 people or 3 people that came over to my house. And it wasn't that big of a deal. They self-quarantine. We self-quarantine. So it was really great. And it was nice. It was nice to see them again. And don't worry, we didn't party. Nothing like that, just a simple talking, eating, Filipino style. Maybe singing and playing games and lots of laughing. But welcome to the Filipino family. But anyways, I had family coming over, so I really, really tried my best to make sure that all my homework was done. I am taking AP GoPo this year, and a lot of the time, not a lot of the time, but for her, majority of the class is just reading, and we had a lot of reading that was due Wednesday, or this coming Wednesday, and I've just been struggling trying to read every single day because I had exams throughout the week, so I just had no time to try to find time to split up the reading so that I was able to do it in advance like I would normally do. For the last chapter, the first chapter, I was able to split it up into 5 days, and I only did 3 pages a day. But for this one, because I had so many tests that week and so many quizzes that week, I decided that I wasn't going to do my GoPo notes. I'd rather use that time to spend more quality time on studying, and even having that time be taken over for a break time, which I think it's a really good decision. And then on Friday, when all of my tests and all my quizzes were done for this long day weekend. By the way, this is I'm literally making this the night before. So if you're listening to this, it's Labor Day weekend. Thank you. Okay. Anyways, I worked so hard on Friday, and I think I did 17 pages overall that day. And normally I only do 4 pages because I mentally cannot, or not mentally, but physically cannot sit down and read. It's so difficult for me to read and take notes. I don't know why. It's just a thing. I really can't sit down for that long to read 4 freaking pages. There's something wrong with me about that. So I was so proud of myself that I did 17 pages on Friday. And then I actually finished it today on Sunday. And I'm super proud of myself. I'm going to turn it in tonight with my friends. And I am so happy because it's due on Wednesday. And it was a lot of reading. Kid you not, it was a lot of reading. So I honestly, what I'm trying to say here is that I was